I always like to share something good when I read it. I'm reading Hidden Potential. This is a book by Adam Grant. And there are so many good nuggets in this book. But one thing I really thought was important is sometimes we can hide behind perfectionism, or maybe we really are perfectionists. But he says in his book, he says perfectionists tend to get three things wrong. He says, one, they obsess about details that don't matter. They're so busy finding the right solution to tiny problems that they lack the discipline to find the right problems to solve. They can't see the forest for the trees. Two, they avoid unfamiliar situations and difficult tasks that might lead to failure. That leaves them refining a narrow set of existing skills rather than working to develop new ones. Three, they berate themselves for making mistakes, which makes it harder to learn from them. They fail to realize that the purpose of reviewing your mistakes isn't to shame your past self. It's to educate your future self. So really, really good. If you consider yourself to be a perfectionist, I just want you to think about these three things and how they could be hurting you. So one is that obsessing about the details that don't really matter. So something to be thinking about is, do you obsess about the details that don't really matter? Are you looking for problems? Are you looking for solutions to the wrong problems, like the tiny problems, versus discipline to look for the right problems to solve? Two was, do you avoid, and I'm guilty, and I guess we all can be guilty of these things, avoiding unfamiliar situations and difficult tasks that might lead to failure. Because none of us want to fail, right? None of us want to be in unfamiliar situations. We all want to stay in our comfort zone because it's so comfortable. It's easy. It's what we know, right? We want to stay in a familiar situation. But if we don't get into unfamiliar situations, then we don't learn and grow. We don't change our lives. We don't get to where we want to be. So we got to do the hard things. We got to do things that we don't want to do. We got to do things that are new and different. And then, and so he talks about when we don't get into unfamiliar situations, we don't refine or we don't obtain new skills. Three is berating yourselves for making a mistake. So how many times have you beat yourself up for making a mistake? So this happened to me, and I know better, right? It's a work in progress. A week ago, or 2 weeks ago maybe, made a mistake, and I've been beating myself up every single day. If I had done this, if I had just done this, if I had done... And I just finally told myself today, it's over, it's done with. You know better next time, so you can make a different choice next time. It's over and done. There's nothing you can do about it at this point, but move forward. And thinking about it, beating yourself up doesn't help anything. It doesn't change the situation. It just keeps you from a better future because you're so bogged down in what happened in the past. So we are all human. We're learning. Hopefully we're learning. We're learning and growing. So we just make different decisions. And so I've been here. I've made the same mistakes over and over again. But you got to learn. You got to stop and say, okay, especially if you beat yourself up, you got to ask yourself, okay, next time I can do this different. Next time I know to do this different. Next time, this is what I need to change. But this is over with. I'm letting this go. I'm surrendering this to God. Ask God for forgiveness. Ask him to give me another chance. He's a God of second chance and third and fourth and fifth and sixth chances. So I'm going to let this go. I'm going to move forward. I know better for next time. And then finally he says they fail to realize that the purpose of reviewing your mistakes isn't to shame your past self. It's to educate your future self. And I believe that's so good, is that we can use our mistakes to educate our future self. So we know, okay, next time I don't have to do that. Next time I can make a better choice. And so just something to be thinking about, not just for perfectionists, but for all of us. We can all learn from this. This is just, I think it's so valuable that we just kind of think about this for ourselves, how we can change ourselves, how we can learn from our mistakes instead of beating ourselves up. How can we learn from our mistakes and grow and be better people?